Are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Wait. You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driver while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
That is what the charge is, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, all right. That goes on for another couple of seconds. Look, I always like to start with a funny video. That is that is hilarious. Maybe I don't understand something, says the judge. Isn't he in court for driving on a suspended license? They say, yes, Your Honor, that's correct. But he just entered virtual court driving a car. There, at the end of the day, you know why I really showed you that video? Because there is zero respect for law and order. There's zero respect for the authoritative figures, right, in society. And this is all a result of the leadership and what the administration has put forth. Like I always tell people, at all times, you're training people how to treat you. I'll give you a quick analogy. Take the old school kid analogy, like whatever, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, pick an age. But a group of young boys, and they're on the playground at recess, and the one kid says, yo, mama is so fat, and says a yo mama joke. All right, I'll give you situation A. The recipient of the joke says, oh, yeah, and he just takes the yo mama joke and he moves on. Now everybody's going to say yo mama jokes to that kid. All right, situation B. Yo mama is so fat, clock. There's probably not going to be many more yo mama jokes to that kid. My point is you're training people at all time how to treat you. And what this administration has done is train society to not give a flying fuck about authority. And this is where we've gotten to, where this guy knows that he had a suspended license. He doesn't give a hell. I'll just drive. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? And you know what? He's right. What are they going to do? Nothing. They're not going to do shit. But you know what they will do? The administration will tell you it's all good. Everything's all good. Although all those protests that you see in the streets, they're peaceful. Don't worry about those. Those are peaceful protests.
A miscarriage is a medical abortion.
No, it's not. Okay, let me educate you, okay?
Yes, it
well, hold on,
yes.
hold on. Get back. Hey, get back. Hey,
Hey, that's not okay. Don't put your hand.
Hey, get back. Stop.
Now, maybe that's not necessarily one of the Palestinian protests, right? I guess I may have inadvertently framed it to be that. But this is a level of expression that cannot happen in society. When you come to terms with people in society that you don't see eye to eye with, you can't just let your feelings bubble over and have a complete meltdown or freak out. Look at Robert De Niro yesterday. He looked like a fucking ass clown. Nobody's going to do business with that clown again. But they'll tell you, oh, here's some Palestinians.
Pues ha incrementado muchísimo el nivel de esta.
What is this, in Mexico? It sounds like it's in Mexico. Turning that off for a second. But the point is, you got Palestinian protests, fires. Maybe that one's not in America. Doesn't appear to be. Mexico City. The point is, they're always going to say it's peaceful. Look, they're going to say a lot of things. They're going to say a lot of shit. Because there isn't any integrity with the truth. There's no integrity in telling the truth. There used to be a time, you guys remember, maybe depending on your age, I'm 27. So like I was born in 96, right? I've grown up with corrupt media, clickbait media for most of my adult life. But for those of you that are older, remember the time when a journalist would fuck something up? They'd mess it up. They'd come on air the next night and they'd be like, I regret to inform you that my comments last night on the air were inaccurate. I've spoken to the source and I now have accurate information, but I take my craft very seriously, yada, yada, yada. Right? Like that. There used to be a time though, where there was like pride in telling the truth. That is not the situation that we are in right now. You are going onto the air and purposely diverting people from the truth. It's word manipulation, folks. Engagement farming. That is what the left has become. And that's why so many are walking away from that party. They're walking away from that party because they simply can't stand for what they're standing for. The extremists on that side, on the left, they have taken over the whole perception of what it means to be a Democrat. And those who are reasonable they're JFK Democrats. They're looking at this like, what the fuck? Castration, open borders. I'll go with the mean tweets this time around. How you doing? Keep it moving. And that's the way, you vote on the person. You can't vote for the party because what the party's become is satanic as fuck. And that's the truth. Sorry about it. It's the truth. They'll also point to stuff like low crime. Crime's never been lower, says Karine Jean-Pierre. She gets up there, Jean-Pierre, KJP. Crime's never been lower. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. Here, this is in Jackson, Mississippi. Oh, here they come. They just get home. They pull up from home. Yeah. So look at this. People are actually getting robbed in their driveways. I don't even know where we are anymore. I do. This is where I want to be. I want to be in this country. I want to be a part of the reason this country is great again. But this is third world type of shit, guys. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. All right. There's obviously, I want to move on to the king of the reason why everything is so bad. Joe Biden. I want to talk about Joe Biden a little bit. He's been in the news. Guys, wait till you hear what Joe Biden says about Memorial Day. It makes no sense. Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, by the way. I didn't lead with that. I should have. But of course, right? Veterans Day, you understand we're honoring those who served. Memorial Day, of course, you thank those who served for their service. But Memorial Day is about the celebrating the lives, those who were living that lost their life. Not celebrating that they're gone, of course, but celebrating like a celebration of life, right? And honoring that they made the ultimate sacrifice. That's what Memorial Day is for. Well, here's what your president had to say about Memorial Day. And then I'm going to bring in a guest as well. I have a guest here, a special guest. I'll introduce him right after this clip. But this is what Joe Biden has to say about Memorial Day.
On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man. On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man. On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man.
Okay. Bringing in Robert here. Robert, he is the host of the Washcast, right? Washcast on X and on Rumble. Great patriot here. Robert, I want to talk about your show a little bit, and I'll get into that. I'm gonna pull up your page. But real quick, talk to me about Joe Biden. This is a guy that ran on the tone of unity, right? Do you remember the debates, Robert? He always said, if you've got a loved one that you lost and you don't have them anymore at your kitchen table, I know how you feel. You remember all this, right? I'm going to unite the country. I'm going to be the great unifier, is what Joe Biden said. But every time he gets onto a microphone, he's creating a divide between white and black or Republican and Democrat. What are your thoughts on Joe Biden as a whole and him on a microphone lately? Because it's been awfully divisive in this clip here.
I mean, I don't think there's any other way to put it other than the guy is completely and utterly just dead in the brain. Yeah. This comment on Memorial Day, it almost feels like a suck up after he told all of the graduates that their degree didn't matter because they had to be 10 times better than the rest of their graduating class. It's kind of like, well, all right, they're dumb, but I'm standing by them. Come on. Like, this man has done absolutely nothing for the black community. I mean,
but you know what? You are 100% right. At the end of the day, and that's like Charlemagne the God, Stephen A. Smith. These are outspoken black men, good black men. Maybe we don't see eye to eye with them on everything, but you can respect their position. They're intellectual human beings and amazing speakers. And what they're saying is what you're saying right there. What has Joe Biden done for us? More importantly, what's the Democratic Party done for us? I mean, Donald Trump had $300 million a year pledged to black universities. Joe Biden gets in office and rips that away. Joe Biden's in office and those after school programs. No. No kids allowed because we need that facility to house the illegal aliens. What you're saying is true. What has Joe Biden done for the black community? And
a whole lot of lip service. That's it.
Exactly. So Robert, real quick, tell us about your show. They don't want to show you a clip of Jill Biden as well. But so here's your page. Tell us, when are you on the air and where can we find you?
Yeah, so I stream every Thursday. Lately, it's been every Thursday and Friday. I usually announce the special episodes ahead of time, but I stream live on my X profile, so REH_LTD. And I'm also on Rumble at the Washcast.
At the Washcast. Awesome, man. So I've seen a little bit of your show. I love what you're doing. And, you're a young patriot. I'm a young patriot. More of us, I just encourage, if you're a young patriot, a patriot of any age, but our youth is fucking lost and it's sad. I'm 27. I don't know how old you are. You don't have to say if you don't want to, but you're
29. So
29, clearly a young guy as well, right? We're both under 30. Yep. We are part of the system. I graduated in 2014. You probably did in 2012, but we're still part of the system of no kid left behind. Every kid gets a trophy. We saw it happen, and we saw the beginning of this type of indoctrination in the youth. Yeah. And it's created a spineless society. But we need more people like us to encourage our peers to become intellectually curious about politics, because at the end of the day, it's very important.
Well, and most of the generation that's below ours, the Gen Zers, they've been trapped in that I guess that echo chamber and that whole like Marxist indoctrination for their entire lives. They've never seen like the other side of it. And the public school system has become a joke. It has produced lower test scores every single year. And rather than, encouraging the schools to do better, they just lower the standards. So it's kind of warming my heart though, because I'm seeing an increasing number of young people getting involved on the conservative front. And it's all about that generation just above them that still gets it, that's still relatable. If you can bring a level of education to them, it's a game changer. Yeah. These are the future leaders of America, man.
They are. You're right. And that's the only inevitable. I'll say it in a harsh way. Death is the only inevitable, and taxes. If you want to make $1 in this country, you're going to get taxed and you're going to end up dead. That means that our leaders are going to eventually get old and die, and our youth is going to age to that level, to that age where they become the leaders, the teachers, the ones who are pushing our society forward. And as of right now, it's a scary looking sample size for what's coming down the pipeline.
Well, and we don't have enough young politicians, guys like our age. You know, I just did an interview with Mayor Longo of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Mayor Longo. He's 33 years old, and he's been in office now for 7.5 years. And I mean, he's cut their debt well over 50%. And they're I think he said they're on track to be debt free within like the next year and a half. So like
big time.
It's all about the educated generation. It's all about the younger folks stepping up and going, hold on, wait, no, I've had enough, and your bullshit doesn't work.
I agree. All right, look, so let me talk to you about this before I let you go. Jill Biden, she's on The View of all places. And I tend to look at Jill Biden as the real criminal in all this, because like Joe would listen to his wife, I'm sure, as most men do. But you know, in this man's dying years, let's just call it what it is. She's forcing him onto that pedestal. He's making an absolute embarrassment of himself.
They're pumping him full of drugs.
Yeah, pumping him up with drugs as well. Right, because there's no way. It's a completely different guy, and you can tell when he's on or off the shit, the adrenaline, the Adderall, whatever they're giving him. They're giving him something.
Doesn't blink for 2 minutes.
Trump.
Sorry. Here's Joe Biden. What'd you say though before I play it?
Said, when he's standing and doesn't blink for 2 minutes, he's on the octane.
Oh, I saw that video. That's
creepy.
Zombieland. All right, here we go.
Well, Dr. Biden, the first presidential debate is less than a month away, and we've debated at this table. There have been people that have thought President Biden shouldn't even debate President Trump just due to the fact that Donald Trump will gaslight, he overtalks. Yes. There are no guardrails. So he stalks. Yeah. Well, I happen to believe it's really important more than ever to have a debate with guardrails. What is the strategy that the president has going into this? Any tips you'd have for a debate that we could pull off where we could actually hear our candidates?
They've built that in where they're going to turn off those mics so that somebody can't ramble or scream at somebody. Not that my husband would be the one doing that. And so that's already been negotiated. And, I think the American people deserve a debate because you need to see your choices. You need to see Trump and you need to see the president.
Yes,
and you need to see the differences. And my husband's, and you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. And then you'll see somebody who, like you're saying, I'm going to use Joy's words, can't put a sentence.
And she sounds bright as all hell. She's an educator. She sounds smart.
Very stable genius, right?
She's fucking intelligent, man.
I don't know if you saw it. I had to hit myself in the head to get my eyes to roll back forward because they were just the whole freaking thing. I couldn't help but roll my eyes.
And you know what,
dumbass.
Robert, she's right about one thing, and it's the American people do need to see a debate against Joe Biden, against Donald Trump. What are you expecting for the debate on June 27th? Or June 27th. Yeah.
I think it'll probably be about a half hour before his handlers pull him off stage to pump him full of more. Yeah, and that's if he goes back out. I mean, I guarantee you the first 2 segments, Trump is going to wipe the floor with him, and he's going to have no response. He's going to freeze up. He's going to do his usual, come on, man. You know the thing. The thing, man. Well, I'd be surprised to see him even really debate. I'm more in the camp of I don't think that this is going to happen. I think in the next month, we're going to see the Democrat Party, pull a rabbit out of a hat and maybe shake things up or just kibosh the debate in full. But we'll see. Well, I think if Trump gets the guilty
verdict tomorrow,
I think that may be their excuse and their way out of it.
We'll see what happens. I'm going to be talking about that later in the show too. So if you're on here for the Trump news, we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. But Robert, one more time here. Here's Robert's page. Make sure you're checking out his podcast, The Washcast. It airs to Rumble and it airs to X. Great Young Patriot. And Robert, any parting thoughts from you, brother?
I don't think it needs to be said, but if you're not registered to vote, register to vote. Earlyvoteaction.org or .com is the greatest way to do it. It's got super easy interface. You can register to vote right from there. It's earlyvoteaction.com. You can get involved. You can help door knock, write postcards, send texts, phone calls. We need all hands on deck to make sure that this election turns out in a landslide. It's probably already going to, but at the end of the day, if you can be a part of that in any small way, 10 minutes out of your day, do it.
Love it. It's a great message. Robert, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you
guys,
for
make
having
sure
me.
You are checking out Robert's podcast, The Washcast. And Robert, yeah, I'll have you on again, man. We'll definitely be working together in the future. Us young Patriots got to stick together and we could bring a lot of value to people. So I appreciate you taking time tonight.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, brother. Great Young Patriot there. We got another guest who's going to be coming on. I'll actually, he's backstage right now. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the father of all Todds, who will be coming on in just a second. I want to show you some context about what Todd and I are going to be discussing. If you're unfamiliar with Vitali and Steve Will Do It, Steve Will Do It, Nelk Boys, Happy Dad. Most of you probably know him if you're in my age range. Vitali's, these guys are streamers. They live stream. It's like this new thing. It's point is this. They have a show called Catching a Predator. Catching a pedophile. So it's kind of like Catching a Predator or whatever that show was back in the day. I didn't used to watch it, but they're catching pedos. So what they're doing is they're setting up these pedophiles and then they're running up onto them with cameras. I'm going to show you one of the clips right now before I bring in Todd, and then we'll watch a couple of more. But this is exactly what you need to do to stop these sick fucking freaks from attacking kids. It's absolutely wild that we're at this point in society where there's this much, it's happening this often that people can just start a game show almost and literally they're picking pedophiles off of a tree. There's so many of them. It's wild. Watch this clip.
Go, Steve. Go. All right. You're on the game show. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Woo! Woo!
So you're on a show. What would you
do?
Where we set up, we have a fake decoy, and it's what would you do if you had an opportunity to have sex with a 15-year-old? And what would you do? You won $69,000 because you did the right thing. And congrats. Because what you did was
buying alcohol for a minor too. That's crazy. Yeah.
Wait.
Why are you shaking? You're good.
No, but you.
Bareback bottom boy, huh? Bareback bottom boy. How about you fuck me? Am I too old for you?
Wow.
Go, Steve. Go.
So just to add some context to that, guys, what you saw right there were they set him up that they were going to meet him in a Walmart. They pretended to be a young kid, and then they got him, and they said, "Boo, you won," and trolled the shit out of him. So Todd, I want to have you in here. Welcome to the show again, brother. You make weekly appearances. Absolutely love it. This is what we have to do to these peds, man. We have to embarrass them and put them in front of the camera. I want to show you one more. They did an episode last night. Steve Will Do It in Vitali. So here's one more for you.
Hello. Hello. No. Welcome to the game show. Right here. Nice. Welcome to the game show. We got two at the same time.
Asian Americans. Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
He's running.
They're chasing them out of the building.
Run, bro.
They're literally chasing them out of the building. And again, to add context for anybody just tuning in or doesn't quite understand, they're setting up pedophiles through online dating or whatever. And they said, oh, they'll meet them inside the CVS. And then these guys roll up into the CVS with cameras. They caught two pedophiles at once. Look at this guy. Gets in the car and drives away. And to that point, they know what they're doing is wrong, these pedophiles. Todd, what do you think of this?
Well, I want a big shout out to those two guys that are doing these to catch a pedo. Something that needs to bring a lot of light to what's going on in this world. They're like a bunch of fucking cockroaches running away when the light gets shined on them, which they should do because that's where they belong, to be stepped on and squished. I mean, it's an absolute shame to live in a country where these guys, the cops won't even do anything, whatever state they were in, because they don't prosecute pedophiles. Why? Because the people prosecuting them are probably pedophiles themselves. They don't put the Epstein list out. It's been many years. Nobody knows what happened. P. Diddy's on the news now, roaming around free. But Donald Trump is over here fighting for his life because he did the right thing. F that. We need more of this stuff. I wish that Mike Tyson was there to give him a nice little, you won a prize. It's called a right hook for Mike Tyson. That should be the game show prize they won, because I bet you never step foot in one of those places again. It's sickening, bro. It's sickening to my core. And they think that they can just get away with this shit.
Well, and the problem is, Todd, what you're saying, they are getting away with this.
Yeah.
They are getting away with it. Here's one of the cops talking to one of those streamers. Hey, guys, this is really happening. You're not going to believe what you're going to hear right here.
Basically, like Desk Sergeant has said, don't bring him in. There's nothing that the DA is going to do now. Just write it up, file it up, and that's all we can do now. LA is not going to prosecute pedophiles. So we got to just keep bringing a light to it, because unfortunately, no fault of theirs.
Hold on a
They've done
second.
everything they can for us, but it's the DAs in California that are refusing to prosecute pedophiles.
This is
Police are doing everything they can, but the DA is not supporting them.
What the fuck are we doing here?
They are actually refusing to prosecute pedophiles.
It's all part of the plan, man. Purpose creates design. Have you not seen what's been happening in America over the last 4 years? They want a country where pedophiles could roam free without the fear of being prosecuted. What country on earth is going to say, hey, if you want to touch little kids, you want to rape little boys and girls, guess what? We're not even going to try to bring you to prison or jail for even setting up. What happened to conspiracy to commit murder? What about conspiracy to commit pedophilia? You can get charged for all these other things, but not this. This is worse than anything going on in the world right now with election and all that stuff. It's horrible.
And it's not like this is a bunch of conspiracy theory bullshit. This is an officer telling you right here that his lieutenant says, look, stop bringing in pedophiles because the DA isn't going to indict them.
Yeah.
They're not prosecuting these people.
And
Holy
what happens
shit.
What happens if it's your kid and you catch this guy and you kill him, right? Because you snap. You don't know what to do. You just snap in the heat of the moment, and now you're going to face jail time. You're going to go to prison for snapping on this guy who did or attempted to commit pedophilia against a family member or even one of your own kids. And then what? You think the cops will say, oh, well, the DA is not going to prosecute for killing a pedophile? Of course they are. They can't wait to do that. Violent crimes.
It is really alarming that you have a cop saying that. And kudos to that cop, because you know what? He says, hey, look, we need to keep raising light to this. We need to keep talking about this. This needs to be mainstream. That's why we are talking about it. More people need to be talking about it. Screen record this, post it out, guys. And also get out of liberal cities.
Yes.
Because that shit is not going anywhere.
We're funding them with our tax money, especially in liberal cities where taxes are usually skyrocketed. The tax on everything in New York and California, probably some of the highest taxes in the country. And it's going to fuel these things, these programs that allow these people to activate. Even with the drugs, they were giving out drugs before in some of these states, and they have sanctuary cities, and they allow people just to roam free in the streets and not get arrested for crimes anymore. It's what we say, purpose creates design. This is not by accident. Don't anyone think that this is by accident. This is on purpose to basically destroy the values of America that it was founded on.
You're right. I agree with that 100%. Purpose creates design. Nobody can be this dumb.
You know how
nobody
bad it
can
is?
be. You can't justify shit like that.
No, you can't justify either, which is a little off topic, not too much. Memorial Day weekend at my clubhouse in my pool, someone is playing music on the speaker. Proud to be American. Everyone's singing. Someone comes over and has the audacity to turn off the radio and say they don't appreciate it. Like, we live in a country now where people are they feel threatened if you're a proud American. That's crazy that we come so far that we allowed ourselves to be in a situation where if you're proud to be an American, and God forbid if you're a Christian white male, they want to persecute you on the spot. You have to feel like you're offending people by saying, I'm proud to be free, I'm proud to be an American. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where we're gonna go from here.
I appreciate you sharing that story. And you know what? I've got nothing really to say about it. You know, that's the world we're living in right now. The thing that I think's important is that you did share that story here on a big platform. We got 1,000 viewers already so far tonight. And other people who've got stories like that, record them. You sit in the car, record yourself, tell it, and blast it on social media. People need to be talking, shine light on these issues.
Yes.
100%.
Truth always comes to light, baby. You gotta be willing to shine it in the right area sometimes. Always be shining that light, baby. Be light so bright for everyone to see.
I agree. All right, Todd, love having you on, brother.
Yes,
always good to catch up and shoot the breeze.
You look great as always. I appreciate what you're doing. It takes a lot of courage to get on here all the time and put out the show you do. And I hope everyone appreciates it and just give Chris a big round of a hand for everything he does and just keep up the good fight, brother. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, Todd. Thank you for the kind words, and I'll have you on maybe at the end of the week, and we'll get back together next week.
I'm here, brother. No matter what you need me, I'm here for you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, hell yeah, love it. Great guy, great guy. We love that guy, right? We love that guy. Okay. So let's talk about money for a second. Let's talk about some money before we get into the Trump trials. So just out of curiosity, how many countries tax their citizens so they could send their money back to us? I don't know. I don't know of any, actually. Weird. I mean, we send money to everybody. But now that I think of it, I can't think of one country that does send us money. We can't be the machine for the world, guys. Especially when we have a mess on home turf. That meme, share that meme. Again, like this is something where you don't really need to overtalk this. It's that simple. Hey, out of curiosity, how many countries tax their citizens so they could send money back to us here in the United States? How many? None. This globalist approach isn't a winning strategy. Okay? There's something to be said about being, sympathy, genuine, sympathetic. I get that. But, you send 150 billion, almost 200 billion to Ukraine, a non-ally, non-NATO country with zero audits and all the mistakes that we've seen thus far, and knowing the financial corruption that Ukraine had, the history of it. But no, we're writing that check, baby. Write it. It's bad. We had one more here. Janet Yellen. I want to play this. Janet Yellen, she's the Treasury Secretary. Janet Yellen says her top priority is to enlist markets as a powerful ally in the fight against climate change. Now, look, I'm no brainiac. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be a genius, but I thought that the Treasury Secretary was supposed to be in charge of money or things that are revolving around money, like just generally speaking, finance, money. The fuck is she concerned about climate change for? Guys, you see, there are several topics that'll always keep coming around. Climate change is one of them, and you've been hearing about it for 40 years. All right, let's talk about the Trump trials a little bit. I'm going to play Donald Trump this morning, just a couple minutes, and I'll have in another guest. Got Patriot Kyle coming on, but here's Trump this morning.
As you know, very conflicted and corrupt. because of the confliction, very, very corrupt. Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess between the borders and fake elections. And you have a trial like this where the judge is so conflicted he can't breathe. He's got to do his job. And it's not for me, that I can tell you. It's a disgrace. And I mean that. Mother Teresa could not beat those charges, but we'll see. We'll see how we do.
It's not funny.
It's very disgraceful.
It's not funny. Mother Teresa couldn't beat these charges. So let me bring in Kyle. Kyle. Oh, it's dark, Kyle. You're muted, Kyle. Very dark, Kyle. Very dark, a little creepy, a little spooky for me. I'm feeling the vibe. So it's all right. I'll take what I can get. So, Kyle, let me explain to you what Trump is talking about here, okay? So what the judge has said is this. So the judge has now said, before they go into deliberation, hey, you do not have to unanimously agree. You just have to come to a 4-4-4 split. So there's 3 charges. Let me be very specific. 3 charges. Here's what the judge is saying. In real life, in the real world, the way that this works, and I'll give you an example. Somebody breaks into a home, or let's just say there was a door wide open, right? And a guy walks in, and then he kills the person inside. And they say breaking and entering and murder is his charges. So now at the end, now let's just say the jury finds him not guilty of breaking and entering because the door was wide open, but guilty of murder. So, right, we've seen this in OJ or in other cases, big cases, when the verdict is read, right? Breaking and entering in the first degree, the jury's verdict is not guilty. Murder in the first degree, the jury's verdict is guilty, right? That's the point, right? You unanimously agree on each charge. No, says this judge, Merchant. Merchant says, nah, fuck that. All you guys got to do is 4 of you. You have to agree 4-4-4. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. That's close enough for me. And we'll freaking guilty. Holy hell. You can't. So, Kyle, this is the world we're living in, brother. Tell me your thoughts on this Banana Republic type shit that we're seeing.
You really can't make the shit up, man. Like it's absolutely crazy what's going on to President Trump right now. It's political persecution. They're attacking him for his political beliefs. They're trying to keep him out of office with as much as they can do as possible. I mean, they're throwing every page in the book at him. We see him in court every day. It's baloney charges. What is this? The hush money right now?
Yeah. This is all because of the hush money.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're keeping him in court it's for stuff that happened over 7 years ago. I mean, it's not even in the statute of limitations anymore. So
you're correct. You're correct.
They're just playing their role in the book, and I mean that's all they can do is they're trying to lock up Trump. I think it's a win-win for Trump because if they lock him up, you saw what happened last time he got a mugshot taken. His base got a lot stronger. I mean, he gained a vote out of it. So, and then if they don't lock him up, it just looks like we're just wasting money. We're just wasting whatever we're doing with it. I mean, everyone sees what's going on. He's in court in Georgia. He's in court in New York. Where else is he in court at?
Yeah, Georgia, New York. So, I mean, it is political. It's all political games, right? The Biden administration is at the helm of this.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. All right, here, let's watch this video.
Well, let me ask you about the 3 choices. And one thing in particular that this judge said that these jurors could do. He just delivered what is being called really the pinnacle of all of this. He said that there is no need to agree on what has occurred. They can disagree on what the crime was among the 3 choices. Thus, this means that they could split 4-4-4 and the judge would still treat them unanimously. What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, it's really outrageous because in a normal criminal case, every statutory crime has what we call elements of the offense. Like in a bank robbery case, it's, you have to rob. It's got to be a financial institution. You have to show intent. Those are the things the jury has to agree on unanimously that they were proved beyond a reasonable doubt. Here, what we're doing is taking the element that actually makes this a felony, because remember, falsification of records is normally a misdemeanor in New York. What makes it a felony is that you're concealing or committing another crime. And here the judge is telling them they don't have to agree about what the other crime is under circumstances where that not only is what makes this a felony, what makes it a 4-year potential prison penalty rather than a year or less, but it's also what gets us into the court.
So there you have it.
It's crazy.
There you have it, Kyle.
Like just playing their rules, that's all they can do.
Yeah. So let's play a game before we go. Let's play Read the Jury. So this is what we're looking at for a jury. Let me make this big screen. So juror number 1 works in sales, has some college education. Okay. Juror number 2, investment banker, follows Trump on Truth Social. He's on Truth Social. That is promising. That's promising.
Interesting.
Juror number 3 is a corporate lawyer. Okay. I mean, maybe he got some integrity for his craft. Security engineers. Okay. Juror number 4. Juror number 5 is an English teacher with a master's degree. Well, that's gone. Juror number 6, software engineer, recent college graduate, gone. Juror number 7, civil litigator. I don't know. Retired wealth manager. I mean, it's tricky, man. And of course, it's New York. This could go any way. I don't know. When you look at this, Kyle, I mean, juror number 2 is surely promising, following Trump on Truth Social. But God, dude, who knows how this is going to go? It's just a scary.
It's hard. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with being in New York. I mean, it can go either way.
Yeah, it could. All right, Kyle, I appreciate you coming on tonight, brother. It's always a good time. And
of course, brother, we appreciate what you do, man. Keep up.
Hell yeah. Love it. Make sure you guys are following Patriot Kyle. You'll see me, Kyle, and a few other familiar faces on June 14th, 15th, and 16th in Detroit, Michigan at the Turning Point Action event. We are special guests, honored to be asked to go to this event. So we'll be there. We'll take tons of content, be posting it to X and our other social media accounts for sure. But yes, it looks like I'm on the stream and it's been pretty laggy tonight. I don't know why, but I don't know. Here we go, though. We'll end this thing off. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. If you're new to the show and you liked what you heard, please repost it, share it with some friends, family, or if you're not following, make sure you're following me at Chris's World, founder of Free Voice Media. Check out freevoicemedia.com. You can get all of your news there. At Free Voice Media, we filter the news. That way you don't have to go through the hassle of finding what's important on your timeline. We do that for you. Check out freevoicemedia.com. Tune into Live with Chris's World Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I do appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. So I'll catch you tomorrow night. And until then, be blessed.
Thank you.